coming to you live from the backseat of a 1984 Holden Kingswood. It's time for Destiny Down Under.
Welcome to the 186th episode of the Destiny Down Under podcast. As every fucking week, I'm Log Power Slave, and I'm joined by Fearless Lawmaster, Titanfall, fucking whatever the fuck, and Fall Guy,
Variety streamer.
Really?
Guys, I just like having a fun time and playing games.
Just chill vibe. We shouldn't be nasty, should we?
No,
it comes way too naturally to us.
I know. And then all the people in chat are frantically changing their bios.
Yeah. Christian streamer Mylan Games, how you going?
Mate, only the best for you guys. Good. I burnt myself out on what's today? Saturday. Yesterday, Thursday I had a busy day.
Yep.
Started at 5 a.m. Started the stream. I mowed the lawns, and then I wrote law scripts, and then I edited fucking Twitch VODs, and I finished at 9 p.m. I left the house once to go to the fucking shops like a zombie. I was like, I bought some pre-made food, and I went straight back to my office. And then Friday, I yelled at Sassy and unmoderated him, and I was a bit grumpy. And then I had to end the stream early because I just wasn't myself. I only lasted 2 hours in that stream, and I had to fucking just go chill out. And then I fell asleep on the couch at 6 p.m. last night, just absolutely shattered. So I won't do that again.
Yeah, you gotta pace yourself,
except
mate.
Today.
Except for today, coming into your fucking 7th hour of live content. Well, it's good. It's good. At least you're fucking, you're inside and you're warm. I fucking went to my daughter's netball game this morning, right? And, you can only one parent on the sideline, all that sort of shit, like social distancing and whatever. And,
oh, really?
Right. So I dropped little buffhead over at a grandma's place, and they minded her, and I took my oldest in to play netball, and she's pretty excited because she's really they played one game so far this year, and this is the second game, and she was off for the first quarter, and we were standing there. She was heaps excited, and I'm out of the corner of my eye looking out, and I can see this absolute fucking storm cell just coming in. She got on in the second quarter, and the fucking this. It started out just like a little few spots of rain, and the girls on the court, they were laughing. Like, and I'm talking like it was like 6 degrees.
Oh,
anyway.
in my head, I was like, oh, it's indoors.
No, it's not indoors. Outdoors, out in the field, right? Like out in the bloody park. So it starts like spitting rain, and they're used to playing in the rain. I don't know. Hey, it's raining, and then it just goes and fucking flogs down. And then this gale force wind comes, and it was like, have you ever seen the November Rain film clip where everyone like it starts raining and then it's acid rain, and there's just people like fucking pushing kids out the way to get into cover and stuff.
Kids are flying away, are they?
Yeah, it was just, and like the whole there's what, like 8 aside, 9 aside, so there's like 18 little girls all out in this field, out on the
Hurricane.
court. And to a man, well, not to a man, to a girl, they all started like crying and just running for the sidelines because it was like, I had an instant ice cream headache. That's how fucking cold it was. Like instantly, it just.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I used to
Did any kid get blown away? Just fucking take off with the wind.
I don't know. I just grabbed mine and fucked off. So. There could be a few, mate. They could have the amount of people all running in the same direction, and I'm thinking like, I don't want to go where everyone's going because I don't want the Rona. But also, don't want to die of hypothermia. And then we got in the car and we're sitting in the car and it's bloody, this should have been at the back end. It's a story time thing. I can tell. It's fine. But we're sitting in the car for like 10 minutes with the heater on, just both of us shivering, and then we drove home. And by the time we got home, it's fucking sunny. Son of a bitch.
Did she get any court time? What? Couple minutes?
God, probably 45 seconds. Yeah, like really. And they were absolutely flogging this other team too. It was like 10-0 after the first quarter. And because it didn't get to halftime, the result won't count. So it's like,
oh, really?
Oh.
I mean, on the positive note, do you think your daughter could be an X-Man?
Maybe.
And be like Storm or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've long had my suspicions. She was pretty moody, and then all of a sudden, you know, everyone in the whole place nearly died of hypothermia. So either that or there's some other kind of X-Man child there. Maybe on the losing team.
X-Woman. Yeah.
Yep. Ex-woman child. But that was my morning. But beyond that, I've had a pretty quiet week. I've, you know, just boring real life work shit and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, good.
Boring. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Did you see Sassy lose $180 this morning?
I heard about this. You're going to need to tell me the whole story because he messaged me desperately asking if we could put the podcast on early. Because what did he made a bet that if you could finish a particular level on Legendary before the podcast started. And he's like, is the podcast at 12? I'm like, no, mate, it's at 2. Fuck. I'm like, what?
And if it was earlier, I finished at like 10 minutes past when we would have started.
Oh. Did he do it?
So yeah, he gifted 20 subs.
Yeah, right. What an idiot. Fucking see, that's the kind of
everyone underestimates me. Fucking Sassy put down 20 subs that I couldn't complete because we finished Titanfall 2. That I couldn't complete Halo 2 Legendary. I've never done it before. First mission. Just the first mission only. Fucking easy. Easy game for babies.
Easy game is for babies. Look, there you go. $180, not for babies. Oof. I'd be filthy if I was him. Sucks shit though.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. It is a lot of money.
Yeah, well, there you go. No petrol for the next couple of weeks, mate. Suck eggs, legging it to work. All right, well, what we might jump in and talk about Destiny, and then we can circle back to Mylan Games Variety Streamer Adventures at the back end of the podcast and talk about your experience playing.
There must be something in the TWAB because I had people fucking flocking into the streams just asking if I'd read the TWAB. There must be some good stuff in there.
Well, it depends on how you look at it.
There's a lot of stuff in there then. Is that more accurate?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the 12, and there's going to be not a lot of stuff in the game. So we're going through that. So basically, the premise of this entire fucking 12, I'm going to hit the sting and we're going to come back. But the whole fucking, the whole premise of this 12, I'm calling next season the season of deletion. Let's go. All right, this week at Bungie, 20th of August, 2020. See that? I read it not in American. Basically, this whole TWAB, the centerpiece of this TWAB is, or TWAB, or whatever, however you want to pronounce it. I don't care. I'm not going to get too bent out of shape about it. The focus of it is the Destiny content vault and what's going in it and what isn't. And I think the reason that it's resonated with so many people is that they kind of went, oh shit, there is actually a lot of stuff going in the Destiny content vault to be gathering mothballs for the rest of fucking time immemorium. So what we might do, we might go through and we might break it down thing by thing, and we'll, in typical DDU fashion, just read out the things that are being removed and laugh at them because we probably hate them anyway. So fuck it.
Okay, cool.
Right, so strikes.
I feel like the response has been a bit harsher this time round, even though we knew this shit was happening.
Well, I think the difference is like they kind of gave us like the, oh well, this planet's going and this planet's going, cool. But when you see that spelled out on a, like, because it goes through and details every piece of content that is going,
right,
and it's like, okay, there's a, a fucking heap of shit going. So just to start us off, strikes, everyone knows I fucking hate strikes, so I couldn't care less about this. But the strikes that are getting fucking yeeted and deleted, well, they're not getting deleted, they're getting stored in mothballs carefully. On Io, Pyramidion, and the Festering Core. Festering Core's not even been around that long, I guess. But whatever. Titan, Savathun's song. So poor old Taker, get fucked. You're gone. Mars, Strange Terrain, and the Will of Thousands. Off you go. No more giant slugs. Mercury, Tree of Probabilities, and a Garden Wield. Probably two of the longest strikes there. So, yuck. Are you going to miss any of that, Matt, in particular? Is there any
Mate, I haven't played a
deep lore
strike in
cuts?
probably fucking years.
That's the real way to play it. That's how you do that content. I'm led to believe. I was trying to tell Winky that on Twitter the other day. He's like, oh, it's just reducing the number of strikes and it's less content and it's just going to make it more boring and more repetitive. And I'm like, you can be more boring and repetitive. Just don't play the strikes. That way you don't have to put up with them. Anyway, I'm being facetious. Let's move on. Gambit and Gambit Prime, sadly, aren't in their entirety in the Destiny content vault.
Wait, they're getting rid of them.
No, they're not. They're not.
Oh.
So it's, yeah. But there is a little bit of information. There's a whole, all the Gambit Prime stuff's being removed, but they are basically being merged into it says, all right, look, the new version of Gambit will be similar to Gambit Prime as a single round face-off with tweaked blockers, heavy moat drain, and some changes to the primeval fight. We'll give more details on this when the revamp mode goes live next season. So basically, they're going to Highlander Gambit into the one mode that ruled them all.
Right.
I think they'll get rid of a lot of the fucking the additional trappings of Danny's behind you. Shut it. Hi, Danny. They'll get rid of all of the invader sets and all of that bullshit, the specific sets. And I think having a streamlined Gambit is probably better for everyone. So
they're going to get rid of all the sets, so you're not going to have fucking.
Yep. So as we perform maintenance on the activity, Gambit Prime armor perks will be deprecated. We're exploring ways to rebalance and reintroduce some of the perks and armor mods in the future. So they will be out of the game. That's the technical term I'm led to believe. And we'll see one Gambit mode to rule them all. Hopefully it'll be quick, easy to get in and do, because that's the only reason people play Gambit Prime is because they can't be fucked with Gambit. And they want it to be over quickly. So if we can do that, I think, look.
Hey, what do you think needs to happen to Gambit? Because I think when Gambit came out, I think everyone was like, oh yeah, I'll have a PvP.
We fucking loved Gambit when it first came out. Honestly, in all, that was an incredibly fun time for the podcast and stuff, because it was also when we really started doing cool stuff with doing the events and whatever. But at the same time, the week before, or was it 2 weeks? I can't remember how long the period of time was, but before Shadowkeep came out, where they released Gambit into the wild, and it was kind of like the precursor to Shadowkeep, not Shadowkeep, Forsaken coming out, and we were all in there, and it was like a pure experience of still trying to work out what the fastest way to do things was and teamwork and all that sort of stuff. And I think there's a couple of things have happened. One, the Destiny community did what it does best and works out the fucking meta and how to be completely efficient at everything and consequently suck the fucking fun out of it by everyone uses fucking Xenophage now, or it was bloody, it always happens. Where back then it didn't happen. Everyone was still trying to figure it out. I think they might have lent a little bit hard into Gambit. I think having Gambit and then Gambit being made redundant halfway through a year in Gambit Prime probably didn't help its cause, because I think everyone in the space of the first year burnt themselves out on it. The second thing is that I think, and I had a brief yarn about Senshi the other day, foremost exponent of Gambit in our friend circle. I try to keep my opinions balanced, so I talk to people who actually like this shit. So, that's where it comes from. Senshi reckons that they need to remove invasion from it, and it'd fix it, because then it just becomes a race, and it's not like the annoying part of Gambit is the antagonistic part of it, where it's just people come through and want to fuck you up, and it's cool. But it just happens that fucking often at the back end of the expedited Gambit Prime games that and anyone who is invading is normally leaning on like an established meta to make sure that they go through and just pop you from a distance in one shot. And you know, like,
yeah, don't you think just the invasion is too strong? Don't you think it's more like you get it too often? You fucking you've got like an overshield and you got wall hacks, right? It's got too much shit.
Like I think it was Monday night. I did all my Gambit games for the Solstice shit. And the thing that fucking annoyed me the most was just when, admittedly, I think it was just me and Adrian playing for the most part. So only 2 people loading into a randomized team. You'd be like, we'd blitz all the way to the end game, and then it'd just be invasion after invasion after invasion after invasion, and the fucking catch up mechanic happening. So that like we couldn't really get ahead, and it was just this like there's like 5 whole minutes of just treading water in the context of the game, where I think, and like look. I haven't put a whole heap of thought into it myself. I'm not too stressed about Gambit, but Senshi loves the shit. And his take on it is that if you remove the invasion from it, it's still player versus player and player versus environment in the same thing because it's a race. It still scratches the box. Maybe if they, I don't know, maybe make invasions rarer, but I don't know. I think there's merit in that.
I honestly haven't spoken to enough people about. I honestly haven't spoken to enough people about what they're really. I just know people just meme on it and say they don't like it. I don't really know exactly why people fucking hate Gambit, but
I imagine the thing that shits me with
mechanic, surely.
That is it. For me, that is it. It is the feeling that you get bogged down in it. That like you know that you're probably gonna win because you go in and you fucking slap the other team and you get all the way through to the end of your bloody, you filled your bank. And then there's that kind of like inherent kind of catch up shit that just happens. Like if that wasn't there, you'd be able to blast through your 10 games. It'd be relatively fun, Like I'm not losing heaps of Gambit games. That's the point I'm trying to make here. It's not like I'm butthurt and I don't like it because I'm no good at it. I can go in and fucking win them. Butthurt. But it's just I don't know. Is that an appropriate term? Maybe. Who cares? I don't know. I think that's just. I hope that they're considering all this sort of stuff when they do this rebalance of it, because I do think it can be a game that adds mode that adds value to the game. I just think that it's kind of like it's just not it at the moment, Chief, unfortunately. But anyway, I digress. The things that are getting moved out of Gambit and into the Destiny content vault are the Cathedral of Stars map, Cathedral of Scars. Sorry, I thought it was Stars. Anyway. Haven't seen that one in fucking ages because it's not a Gambit Prime map anyway. And Kelsgrave. So it is what it is, I guess. Not a whole heap there. Now, the next part, and this is, I think, what sort of rattled people the most. The Crucible maps. Because I don't think anyone sort of thought that Crucible maps were going to go. Right? And then when you see the list...
They're going to blow their fucking planets up. They're going to blow the planets up.
Honestly, this lines up with that. I was sitting here thinking this, and I'm like, I did not expect such hard fucking lines to be drawn of the like, you know what? Fucking, this map is on this planet, and that planet is gone, so fuck off. Like, that's it. No in-betweens, right? The maps that are going. Meltdown, Solitude.
Do you think it's like is it a developer thing? Is it like that they're so fucking spaghettied to all the other shit that like you can't just take one of the things out? Because in my head I was just like, you just drag your cursor over to the world and then you just drop it in the recycling. And then there's fucking PvP maps in a separate folder and they just stayed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure it's just based in Windows, Matt. I'm sure that's how it works. They'll move these into like a folder that's next to the folder with its PvP maps, and it'll be called DCV PvP maps. And they'll sit in there until they want to add them again, and then they'll just drag and drop. I'm sure it's that simple. That's game development, easy game for babies. Let's go. I'm not seeing anyone arguing with me in chat, so I'm just going to go ahead and assume I'm right. Look, so the maps that are going, Meltdown, Solitude, Retribution, The Citadel, Emperor's Respite, Equinox, Eternity, Firebase Echo, Gambler's Ruin, Legion's Gulch, and Vostok. That's a fucking heap of maps. And they're maps that are...
You know what? I know what they're doing. I know exactly what they're doing.
All right, here we go.
They're going to remove sprint and make it like Halo 3. You reckon?
No, I'm just not even going to get... I'm not even... You want to ban him, chat? I could just mute him and then just read this to myself. So that's probably about a third of all of the maps currently in the game when you look at it like that. So a shitload of them, to be honest. So I do, Maddie, I think that the way it's going, like, I agree. I agree that there's going to be some plot point that makes it make sense for all of this shit to be removed. That, like, not because like, I'm sure that there's textures that they use in the open worlds and stuff that are used in the maps, and I get that, and I'm sure that they would want to remove as much bloat from the game as they can. If they're removing the planet, sure, but it does seem particularly fucking savage to go through and go, yeah, well, a third of all of our PvP maps, whoop, 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 off they go.
How many maps in total? Got rid of them?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 11 going.
What's that as a percentage of the total maps?
It's about a third.
30%.
Yeah, thereabouts. It's a lot.
Just wipe it all, start again. No.
Fresh slate. Everyone fights in the Crucible in an empty room with no obstacles.
So I guess the question, look, are people upset because I guess the question is, the math doesn't add up, does it? It's like, well, if you get rid of 11, you can't put 11 maps into one new world's not going to have 11 maps, is it? Or is it?
No, and that's the thing I think people are starting to realize is that there's going to be a short-term pain for long-term gain in this. Like, they're not going to instantly have access to maps that replace all of these. And to be honest,
is this like a game? Is this like a game file shit too? So the game doesn't get fucking extra nor like just massive.
It's already fucking enormous by all accounts.
Yeah, but it's not Call of Duty enormous.
Yeah, I mean, it's just obnoxious.
It's not 40 gig updates every time.
Yeah, it's you turn it on. You turn it on 3 times a week and you still get stung with a fucking 20 gig update every day. Oh, what? You're not on an uncapped plan. Get fucked.
Oh, imagine that. So, how many Cruci maps you reckon you get off one location? What's the average normally you get?
I'm going to go...
How many Cruci maps do you reckon we'll get back?
I reckon we'll get 2 new ones
3?
and a reprised one.
3 total. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We remember we're getting Cosmodrome back as well. So we're getting Europa and we're getting the Cosmodrome back. So maybe there's more tied into that. Maybe we'll get a couple of reprised maps or whatever. I'm trying to think back to what D1 maps were in the Cosmodrome or related to the Cosmodrome. I can't remember shit. Too old. Too tired.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, I mean, it's an interesting time. We'll work through the rest of this and then we'll have a big yarn about it at the end and tell you what we think's fucking going to happen, which we've already alluded to. So not only is there some maps going, but there's a whole heap of game modes. Like, they're cutting a lot of the fat out of the Crucible directory, and I think is absolutely overdue. So Supremacy, Countdown, Lockdown, Breakthrough, Doubles, Momentum Control, and Scorched are all getting off out of the playlist. So I'm happy with that. I think Destiny for a long time is...
This is like when you clean up your PC. You're just like, you know what? I just need to clean my PC up. Need to dump all that shit in the bin. Need to start fresh. That's what it feels like.
No one's using this shit. Off it goes. It's like, it's exactly the sort of thing that like Rach is really good at and I'm really bad at around the house. Luke, do you need this album that you bought in 1993? Will Smith, Big Willie style. Do you need it? Do you want to keep it? I'm like, yes. Why? You don't even own a CD player. Don't know. So
okay,
I think
here's a question. Yep. And I think I know the answer.
Yep.
Some exotics you won't be able to get right when they get rid of some of these planets.
Mm-hmm.
What about the ones like the fucking Twilight Gap ones? Oh, Twilight Gap will still be there.
Twilight Gap will still be there. The farm's going.
Yeah, all right.
We're not at that point yet.
Okay.
Trials of Osiris content. Well, hang on. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. Because the lighthouse is on Mars, but not Mars. What's that other place? Mercury. But it'll stay, which is probably good given it's only been around for 6 months. Probably would have been a bad look to just delete the lighthouse out of trials. Wouldn't have been.
Well, I
warmly
mean,
received.
now I'm questioning. I wonder if they are gonna have a story that blows it up or not.
Well, I don't know.
Imagine if the lighthouse tied in. We've got lore about the lighthouse. Maybe it's tied in the pyramids, mate.
Maybe they choose to make it their base of ops or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Saint 14's
Yeah, maybe it's a single point.
Saints on the take.
Yeah.
All right. So here's an interesting thing. We're not losing any of the dungeons. Oh, hang on. Are we? No, we are. We're losing heaps of shit. Anyway. Dungeons. So we're still going to have Shattered Throne, Pit of Heresy, and Prophecy. We're losing none of the dungeons, but Prophecy will become temporarily unavailable for a brief period to allow the team to make a necessary technical update.
Wait, say again.
Prophecy, the new one, Synthwave Dungeon, will be temporarily unavailable for a brief period to allow Dear Bungie to make a necessary technical update.
Wait, so when fucking Beyond Light drops, you won't be able to play
Yes.
Prophecy straight away.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's to stop people like fucking power leveling or some shit?
Or do you think that they're going to bring it back in a sort of modified form that'll further tell
Aramis, stasis.
Maybe. I don't know.
Extra.
I mean, it seems odd because, like, I mean, are they remaking the entire game? What's going on with that particular activity that means it would, I don't know. I feel like there's a reason they're taking it out of the loop momentarily. But anyway, the big bickies for the PvP, PvE nuts among us, the raids. So basically, we're getting to keep Redacted, which is the new one. Last Wish is staying, and Garden of Salvation is staying. And on the going front, we are losing
All the rest.
Leviathan, Eater of Worlds, Spire of Stars, Scourge of the Past, Crown of Sorrows. That's a shitload of stuff. Surprising that Scourge is on that list, given that it's on Earth in the last city. But
How does this stuff work in like World of Warcraft? Have you got any WoW nerds in chat? What do they do in other MMOs?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how they go about retiring stuff. I don't know.
Or is it like just?
I don't know
like
if it's a consideration that they've had to make because I mean, Destiny is probably Warframe does vaulting. All right. Well, what we might do, we might get through this, and then we'll jump into a discussion, and we'll talk about how other games manage it and how we think that we're going to see this through as Destiny. All right.
Because look, I don't play it anyway, and I play the game, and I'm looking forward to Beyond Light coming out because I've actually got an audience now that doesn't mind me playing a game. Whereas previously, people would just show up like, can you please read this to me, Papa? Please read the fucking book.
Yeah, you pigeonholed yourself in a fucking cage made of Microsoft documents.
Yeah, basically. And so now I get to play. So maybe I'll enjoy Destiny that I can actually fucking play it rather than reading Grimoire cards to everyone every fucking day.
I think you will. I think the thing with this, and for me, like I'm happy about it in a way because I feel like maybe it'll just streamline the experience because Destiny at the moment is just fucking, it's like going to a buffet, right? And there's just fucking mountains of food and it's all okay, but you can't decide what you want. So you just go around having a little bit of everything and then you get nothing really done and then you feel full. And then you do it again. Maybe this is a bad analogy, but you know what I mean. It's just, I feel like there's nearly too much to do. It's like it's lost its focus in a way. So the exotic quests, and this is what you were alluding to before, Maddie, that there will be some weapons that you just outright can't get from their quests. I think they're going to be chucked into just Xur drops and stuff by the way it reads. But to do the actual quest, you'll need to do it. So Sturm, Mitre Multi-Tool, Rat King, Legend of Acrius, Sleeper Simulant, Polaris Lance, World Line Zero, Ace of Spades, The Last Word, Le Monarch, Jotun, Izanagi's Burden, Thorn, Lamina, Truth, and Bad Jut are all going.
I've got most of them. I'm definitely missing some, but I've got most of them.
Yeah, there's
But
only really a couple.
if they're just going to go into Zer's pool,
I don't know.
Fucking get them there.
I'm just sort of reading this through because I scanned through the lists. I didn't really read the fucking text.
I feel like they probably would want to just dump them in Zer's pool, but they realize they'd get too much fucking hate, so they'll probably, I don't know, just do it.
There's a memorial kiosk situated along the vault kiosks in the tower. There will be more information later this season about how the exotic archive works. So there's going to be a way to reacquire them.
Oh, easy peasy.
Easy. Game is for babies. Let's go. Why have you infected me with this game is for babies shit?
I know. I say it too much as well. Yeah, it's bad.
I'm going to end up saying it around the house and shitting off my whole family, I can tell. All right, so this
Dad, can you help me with my mathematics homework? Game is for babies and fucking close it, throw it across the room.
Easy, homework is for babies. All right, so catalysts are the other component of exotic weapons, as we know. The ones moving to the DCV will be Bad Juju, the Huckleberry, Izanagi's Bergen, Bergen. Been watching
my name is Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy. I've been watching too much fucking trolls with me daughter. Legend of Acrius, Polaris Lance, Skyburner's Oath, Sleeper Simulant, Telesto, Outbreak Perfected, Whisper of the Worm, and World Line Zero. So you won't be able to get the catalyst for them. Most of them I don't have, actually, now that I'm sitting here looking at that list, and I'm on the verge of crippling fear of I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to just not look at this list again and forget about it. That's going to
there'll be something else that comes out. Like part of me for a split second thinks, oh fuck, I really should grind it all out. I really should get everything. And then I'm like, I know I'll be in pain.
Yeah.
Like
and
I don't want to burn myself out before Beyond Light.
Exactly. You got to be careful. But you can't, like, that's it. If you are like balls to the wall into Destiny right now, doing all of this shit before it goes away, and you've got nothing else that you want to do, and that's fucking great, and you know, and you're not getting pissed off with it, go and do it. But honestly, I think for everyone else, it's just a time to have a break and come back recharged for new content and, you know, a new setup too, by the look of it.
I'm actually really excited to see how crisp fucking keyboard and mouse is with Destiny, because I've been playing all the fucking Halos and bloody everything else now. I think it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Once you get you'll feel like you're the weak link, not your fucking... I went from playing Halo into playing Destiny in the same night, and it was like I was running around underwater. It was fucking weird. And then when I got the hang of it back, I felt like a machine again.
Yeah.
All right, so... what goes away when a destination is vaulted? This is just an attempt to clarify the mountain of confusion that came along with this stuff. When a destination enters the DCV, its PvE content will no longer be available. Explicitly, this includes their unique stories and missions and cinematics, strikes, raids, dungeons, adventures, secret missions, vendors and associated bounties, destination-specific patrols, collectibles and scannables, destination-specific activities such as Mercury's Forge, Mars's Escalation Protocol, free roaming the destinations themselves and exploring lost sectors, etc. So they are 100% fucking gone. There is nothing. All of it. I'm fine with that. I feel like it's better than there being 2/3 of everything there, right? Like, just cool. And I hope that it's tied into a plot device. Guardian, what will, this is an important one, and it was one of the sort of things that I hadn't really considered from someone who went through the Red War campaign like 3 years ago now. With some of the core year one destinations entering the vault, it's true that free-for-all players content like Red War, Curse of Osiris, and Warmind campaigns will no longer be available, We're building a new expanded Guardian origin story on the Cosmodrome that will launch alongside Year 4, and will be available to all Guardians to play. It is designed to introduce you to the world and mechanics of Destiny and prepare you to play the action MMO game that we all enjoy. Forsaken and Shadowkeep's story campaigns will be playable in Year 4 for owners of those expansions. So they are literally taking Destiny 2's launch story and just fucking it off.
Wait, a new Guardian origin story?
Yep. On the Cosmodrome.
So do you think it's like the same Guardian origin story, just revamped? Or do you think we are technically a completely different Guardian?
Well, I mean, most of ours have flowed on from Destiny 1 anyway, so I guess it'll be depending on when if people created a new character after November 10th, they'll get the new experience.
No, but we're not gonna. Do you think there'll be something like We Die to set that up?
No, I think it's like the new player
Optional.
experience. Yeah, I don't think we'll have to do it. I think we'll be like the end game buddies, and then
But if they do that,
character.
If they do that, they need a whole fucking second set of dialogue lines for everything. Because we're not the Guardian. We are the Guardian right now. Our Guardian that was resurrected in the Cosmodrome is the Guardian.
Yes. But then, like, I don't think it forces you to do it. It's like when you play through New Light now, you're doing it on an alt character. You're not doing it again on your original character. It seems like this will be the same as that. Basically, an expedited version.
What happens when you do New Light now? Don't you res in the Cosmodrome again?
Yeah, it kicks you in from the Cosmodrome, and then you go through all the campaign. So I don't know. Maybe there is. I don't know. Look, it's. There you go. Fez is in chat saying the new story will be playable by all Guardians. Keep that in mind. So maybe it's something that we can all go and run through, but it's like your starting point if you pick it up after November 10.
All I'm saying is this. What's fucking Salad Bowl going to say to you? Like, if you're a new Guardian, does he call you Iron Wolf or not?
Oh, I don't know. That still hurts me. It still hurts me because I made my PC characters before cross-save. So he just talks to me like he doesn't know who I am. And I'm like, fuck. Just veteran dialogue option box. Please.
Yes. Okay.
Did you do this? It's a survey. Everyone loves a survey. What's happening to Whisper in 0-hour secret missions and their exotic rewards? They're gone. Gone. There's a whole paragraph that basically just says they're gone. With Forsaken campaign, Tangled Shore and Dreaming City sticking around after Beyond Light's launch, does that mean other Year 2 seasonal content will remain in Year 4 too? No. The Year 2 seasonal content, including Forges, Reckoning, Menagerie, will be entering the DCV November 10. So Menagerie's gone. Reckoning's got. There's a whole heap of shit that's just outright gone.
Dude, I only just discovered Menagerie like last month.
Well, you better get back into it. Make hay while the sun shines. But that's basically it. And look, I'm going to go through and we'll jump into the fashion show part of it. We'll do this. Look, some very pretty Guardians with their glowing armors. Very nice. Hoplite at the top there. Very person of salt.
I can't see it.
This is very fiery. Okay. And you know what? They need more Titan chest pieces that have the feathers coming out of the back of them or whatever. That's what it needs. Yeah, very good. This isn't very engaging for our audio listeners, so we're just going to fucking nope out of that. And
just nope. I'm already bored.
Look, you know that your Guardians are pretty. That's why you submitted him. Get fucked. All right, what we might do is, Maddie, what's in the lore pipeline this week? We might jump into that, and then we're gonna circle back and we'll talk about the DCV in all of its fucking. I don't know if it's glory, impending doom. We might call it, but.
Do you reckon I could screen share something very quick? Will that fuck everything up?
I mean, you can try. And the worst that'll happen
Will it fuck
is
it up?
I don't know.
Or I'll fucking hold on to your butts.
We're about to try science. Is this
All right.
gonna? Oh no, yeah, it fucked everything up. hang on. There we go. Yes.
Can you see?
Yep, I can see it.
All right, that's all you
Holy
get to see.
shit, that's a thick boy.
That's all you get to see.
Oh wow, that was just cruel. It's cruel. Look, I'm gonna close that. Cool. All right, now we can go
Next
back to
video.
that.
Do you know who that is?
It's Big Chungus.
I showed a cabal with tusks.
No, I don't. Who is that? Is that what? So that's
You
the
don't know who it
subject
is.
of your. No.
Do you know what? Do you know what tusks?
Should I?
What it means to have a tusk?
Not in the context of the cabal.
Well, the tusks are the opposite of fucking what you would expect. They're the lady cabals.
Wow.
That
Right.
Chungus is fucking Callus's daughter.
Wow. I feel bad now.
Calling
Is he
him
going to fucking?
Chungus.
Yeah, I was. I feel a bit judgmental, and I probably shouldn't have been. I thought it was the dude from the raid, actually, but now I'm like, what's his name? Galran, but he's his helmet. So yeah, okay.
So Gamma Trap is always really reluctant to draw Cabal because when we first started working together, it might have been like the third or fourth piece. He had to do a fucking Emperor Cabal, whatever. And it was honest, your daughter could draw better than it. It was fucking dog shit, right? And he's been haunted by it. He's been haunted by it. Yeah.
Like honestly though, like a bit rich from any from someone with your artistic ability to say anything Gamma has ever done in his life is a bit dog shit. But if Gamma says that, then that's fine. So he's got the Cabal specific yips. Is that what?
Yeah. And I said to him, look, next video is on Callus's daughter, right?
Oh.
And he's like, oh. And he's like, oh. And I'm like, dude, I know you can do it. I know you can do it, Gamma. Like, you can draw a Cabal with tusks. I know you can fucking do it. And I showed him the, because it comes from this book. We actually get a picture of her in here in the Destiny 2. Is this her? Yeah, this is her. And the Destiny 2 fucking look how cool she looks. She's fucking badass, mate.
Not a bad sort. Good.
Yeah. So that comes from the Destiny 2 Collector's Edition. She's mentioned because she was part of the coup. She was part of the leadership, Cabal leadership that betrayed Callus and exiled him upon the Leviathan. And she is most likely the one to take over the Red Legion. She stopped Callus's plan, and I think in the very last lore entry of the most recent book, guess who gets mentioned? Kyaddle.
What's her name?
She's mentioned as Kyaddle.
Kyaddle.
Yeah, C-A.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm dead set.
I know you are, but let me
like
just
normally
spell it
I would
out.
be making fun of you and saying Bandoiler or something, but I'm genuinely asking.
But I don't know. I'm just making it up because I've never heard anyone say it before. C-A-I.
Yep.
C-A-I-A-T-L.
That's. I think you're probably on the mark. I can't. Kyaddle. Cattle.
Not cattle.
Not cattle. Kyaddle. I reckon. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Yeah,
No,
right. There you go.
Yep. I'll defend you to the death.
I don't want
anyone
another
calls you out,
Bandoiler situation.
Yeah. Kaber and Kabir. The OG pronunciation wars. All right. So what's Kyaddle up to? What she's popped up in the back end of a lore?
I think since Skull's defeat, I'm pretty sure she's taken over and she has taken over the Cabal Empire on the home world of Torah Battle. So, and when the Fourth Horseman came out, we actually got a little bit of lore about her as well. She actually sent the whole reason we had the Fourth Horseman quest was she had sent a spy to kill one of Callus's spies. So she's definitely in range. She definitely knows about Earth. She knows about where we are. And she's next in line to probably pick up the remnants of the Red Legion.
Jesus. Okay. So let me ask you this then.
Right.
Where, given that we've got nothing but titles for the next few expansions for Destiny, like the yearly content releases, where does the Queen of the Cabal fit into it? Where do you see it coming?
She doesn't, does she? It's a good fucking question. The Witch Queen is after fucking Beyond Light.
I mean, look, if we're going to take at face value, the big DLCs are going to basically be sort of centered around Savathun and maybe that story. There's heaps of space every year to fill this sort of thing out with seasonal content. Like maybe this is, middle season next content cycle.
Does she count as like an Eramis kind of storyline? Because she doesn't have a huge amount of lore. And like the Red Legion, the Cabal on Earth and all that kind of shit are just like leaderless. They've got no one leading them.
Yeah. They're just loitering
Same with the
around.
Taken, I guess. I know. I guess Savathun's leading the Taken now.
Why haven't they just gone home then? Like, I'm not just going to turn up and get fucking shot if no one's at least telling me to do it. Makes no sense. What is going on with my camera today? Honestly, it is on crack. Have you noticed
I can't
it?
see it because I was downloading stuff.
It's just cycling through. It was a wise choice, but it's just cycling through like aggressively red tint and aggressively blue tint, and I don't get it. Anyway, so Kai Adel, what do you know?
I mean that's basically it. She stopped the she was a star pilot, which we don't really know what a star pilot means. It just means she probably is really good at flying a fucking ship. She stopped her father from likely had possession of Aham Karabone. She actually snapped a bone in her hand, which was somehow meant to save Callus from the coup. You don't really know, but Callus in this book says very similar words to Aham Kara. However, this was also written by Seth Dickinson, so it could just be a bit of follow through from previous writing. Or you don't really know when it was written, so it could have come before that. Don't know. Might have been a narrative idea that stuck around. So there's that. And she did the coup, and she's mentioned in the Season of Arrivals. She's mentioned in the exotic gun quest for the fucking, what's it called? I just said it before. Fourth Horseman.
Yep.
And that's about it.
It's not much to go on. It's not much to go on, is it?
I know, but I stretched it out to 10 minutes, mate.
That's why you're on the YouTube.
Dude, I'm desperate for lore vlog.
I know, but I believe.
I'm fucking desperate.
Don't tell people. A lot of people will hear you say that. Just because you're on a podcast, you fucking moron. Mylan Games, desperate for lore.
I'm running out of topics.
Mylan Games, lore beggar.
Lore beggar. I'm going to have to start fucking... I don't know. Even Reddit doesn't have anything. I tried to get a topic from Reddit again. Nothing there. Barren.
Failed by Reddit.
I know. and they make the best topics.
I mean, I believe. They're a different type.
Normally I don't use Reddit at all because you just reword someone's content. But the last couple of weeks, man, oh my God, I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. So you gotta make content.
If you're out there and there's a bit of lore that you know that Matt's never touched on that you want to see him cover, Bife doesn't seem to have a problem finding topics. Easy lore videos are for babies. Try harder. All right, let's open the fucking chat up. We'll get you clowns in here. You can have a chat.
Mate, let me go home.
Talk about?
Let me go home and fucking record a video.
Matt's gonna go and cry and weep to himself. But all right, here's the lead-in question for today. What do you think is going to happen that facilitates this DCV in game? Are we going to get, as Maddie's predicting, the planets being fucking engulfed in darkness or exploded or whatever?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
do you guys in chat think that's what, I think we're gonna definitely see we're gonna have to see some kind of narrative tie into all this. Otherwise it's just gonna be like, oh well. I mean, I'd like to say that it'd be really weird to have somewhere that, is still there that you all of a sudden just can't go to for no reason. But given that's everyone's situation in the entire fucking world at the moment, it's kind of on point. The Rona sweeps through Destiny and you can no longer go to half of the destinations you'd like to go to. Wrecked.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like Seva virus.
There you go. Matt.
And the Seva virus.
Seva virus is coming back. Player 4, Scottish Matt, absolute legend, says, it's mentioned in game that the pyramids are reversing the traveller's work. So does that mean planets that were kind of
why don't
like...
you start a fucking lore channel, Matt? Jesus Christ.
There you go. He's just thrown you a bone. He's just thrown you a bone. There's your next video.
Actually, not bad. Oh, can you send me the information? Actually, not bad. Send me the information. Send me the information, man.
Get a piece of paper out, write it down right now, okay? Genius. He's actually getting a piece of paper. For those of you listening, you can probably hear Matt's drawers clanging around. So if they're reversing the traveler's work and there were planets that were more or less terraformed by the arrival of the traveler, was that the case with Mercury, or was that done by the Vex? I can't remember.
I'd have to go back. Oh, mate, it's a good topic, don't I? I have to go back and look at it. I'm pretty sure Mercury was transformed by the Vex. Yeah.
Okay.
The other one's got terraformed. Big time.
Yeah, so there's definitely going to be some undoing. Yep. Off the list.
Yep.
No more Crucible practice there. That's why.
Yep.
There you go. I do think they're going to tie it in with something smart like that. I feel like it's the perfect opportunity to do it. Perfect opportunity to change up the size of the game and do it all in one cohesive thing. I think they've been planning this for a long time, and I think it's just coming to fruition. I don't know. I can't. Do you think they've been planning this since Destiny fucking 2 launched? Because that's how long the pyramid ship arc has been going, right? That they'd plan in redundancy of a game. I don't think so. I think this is a very smart pivot in that context, because I think they would have those decisions would have been made back then under the guise of working with Activision. That's now no longer a consideration.
Man, they plan a lot of stuff very far ahead. I don't know.
Interesting. All right. Well, if you got any questions, rock on in the chat. Doesn't matter what they're about. Maddie, how was Titanfall, brother? I haven't played it, so you're gonna have to...
I forgot.
Yep.
Finished Titanfall, dude. That's a good game.
It's a good
understatement.
Good game. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, dude. Fucking how do they make such a fluid mechanics for running, jumping, sliding?
Always loved that about that game. Just the movement in that game was incredible. And for whatever reason, I don't give a shit about what's the fucking other one, Apex. I couldn't cop it as a BR.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I just never. I don't know. Maybe it was just that the game itself wasn't interesting enough for me to want to continue down that path. But
it's a solid shooter, man. It's a solid story. It's a solid story. I mean, when was the last time you played a first-person shooter like that? Had a good fucking story. I mean, I just played Halo, so pretty recently.
For you, it was fucking Monday, but for everyone else, it's been quite some time. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I only watched you play a little bit of it. Admittedly, I didn't get too much time to jump in this week, but
did you play it on console back in the day, or did you play PC?
I played the beta of it. I never actually bought it when it came out, but it was on Xbox. So I never played it on PC. So I'm definitely interested in jumping in. But as for anything with me, I say that knowing full well that it's a hollow promise and that I'm too busy to ever get to it. So I'd like to do that one day, but Solstice armor grind comes first. So
I mean, I had a lot of love for BT, and BT's your robot dude, and just good characters, man. Boss battles. It was a unique game for a game that was just in the era of Call of Duty 5 and Battlefield 3, you know, whatever fucking games came out.
Yeah, it was
like in
pretty
between Battlefield and Call of Duty.
pretty redundant kind of. Oh, not redundant, but like I felt like that was like a real lull in the industry of like where things were kind of at their most derivative point, and they've kind of in a way gone. They flipped it on their head a little bit over the last couple of years. I think sort of Fortnite coming along and being the biggest, bestest thing in the fucking universe, and BR's kind of taking the focus off, you know, those really rote kind of Call of Duty franchise iterations, I think has been a good thing. But the other thing that we didn't talk about last week was the Epic versus Apple.
Yes, I was gonna say
Fucking Sue-fest to be who will win to be the foremost company that I do not buy anything off. That's basically where I get to sit and watch the fireworks knowing that it will not impact me in any fucking way. So
like it's pretty scummy on Epic's behalf because they know that their audience are basically children.
Yeah, that's the issue I have with it.
Super manipulative.
That's the issue I have with it.
And like you already make it's just
when you
at the
boil
same
it
time,
down,
I'm also like, yeah, fuck you, Apple.
Yeah, I mean, Apple don't need any more money, but neither do fucking Epic. So, right? Like,
yeah. And
how about
thing,
this?
Though, if it works out, then it means that other. But I guess it's just mobile games, really. And then I was like, oh, I guess other mobile games that are smaller might, you know, benefit from it. But
yeah, but that rarely ever pans out to be the case. Like, it's far more likely that they'll go, okay, this is becoming too expensive and painful for Apple. What they'll do is make an exemption for Epic, and Epic will take it. And then everyone else stays exactly where they fucking were. It's not, like, they're not freedom fighters. They're doing it to fucking improve their return for shareholders. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, don't fucking confuse. They're going to PR spin it like nobody's ever seen before. They're making fucking ads, taking the piss out of old Apple ads to announce that they're fighting. Like, they don't buy into it because it's absolute fucking shit. It is a giant corporation taking on a giant corporation, using you as a fucking pawn to get their dirty work done.
It's pretty fucking guerrilla market warfare.
Yeah, but on a huge scale. I don't think, like, it's interesting, and I follow it because I just want to see what happens. I mean, I'm not invested in it in any way. Like, it's kind of like watching two fighters that you don't give a crap about. You just hope they belt the shit out of each other and you get a good show out of it, right? But I mean, if it does have tangible flow-on benefits for the industry, then fucking oath, I'm all about that. I'd love to see indie devs get a better cut of the money that their games turn over. But I don't think like that is a pretty self-serving way for Epic to promote themselves, when really that's not why they're doing it. They're, like, why they're doing it.
How about bloody YouTube, Australian YouTube?
Oh, I was going to say that. That was my other point of, and speaking of scare tactics, fucking Google.
Yeah.
Did you get the creator email? Oh, you might make this money. You're fucked.
No, look, I mean, as someone who's survived adpocalypses, we know the people who are going to be hurt here are people probably like me, just regardless of what the truth is, really. I don't understand the logic behind YouTube's email. And this is the thing, right? I know what's fucking happening. Old school media can't fucking keep up.
Yeah.
They can't make enough money off ad revenue. People get all the information for free. So I think it's fucking bullshit that a fucking law is being made to allow them to negotiate to be fucking paid to put YouTube videos on. Where's my fucking money? I've been grinding this shit out for fucking ever.
Yep.
So that part pisses me off. At the same time, I think YouTube did not do a very good job at conveying exactly what's happening, and they just went into scare tactics. And I don't think that did them any justice, because I'm legitimately interested in exactly what it allows them to do. Because what it sounds like it allows them to do is above and beyond ad revenue. Media companies in Australia can demand to get paid basically a fucking production cost to post content. somehow. I don't know how that works, but that's what it sounds like it. So this is not based on views. This is like you got to pay us somehow.
I think
I don't understand how it works.
it's basically like what they're trying to do is stop Google being able to be like an intermediary making money out of someone else's content without like having any part in actual, like, ad revenue is one thing, but I think it's more tied up in, like, it is in the news stuff. And you're right in saying that, like, print media and all that sort of stuff is desperately trying to hang on. But I do see the sense in trying to, like, protect local news sources, right? Like, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah, but it's not, don't you reckon? It's not fucking going to be local news sources.
Probably not.
It's got to be the same fucking dwindling, running everything.
Yeah, and it is, but it already is. It's fucking News Corp already, and like that's I mean, imagine if Slothy was here right now, he'd be fucking exploding. Someone would need to emergency.
But here's the
hug
thing, right? Like, how
bad, but
okay, there's a difference. If it was going to be non-biased news media, cool. That doesn't fucking exist.
Nah, it's dead.
The whole thing about YouTube is it adds it independent. That's what YouTube does. It adds it independent. That's why I'm angry about the situation, because it's like, hey, all of a sudden, news media, we don't have control. We need control back. And not only you're going to pay us to get control back. That's what fucking pisses me off.
I need to look into it a bit more. I've looked into it from, like, I read the alert thing that, like, if you're outside,
it was like, it's bullshit.
Yeah, and I'm like, fuck off, man. Like, as if I give a fuck about Google in their back pocket. Like, at the end of the day, they'll work it out one way or another, but I probably need to do a little bit more research either side. But it does seem incredibly disingenuous and I imagine if you're somewhere else in the world and you've got a VPN, if you VPN into Australia right now and load up google.com.au, you'll be able to see what we're talking about, because there is a fucking yellow warning sign saying Google is at risk in Australia. Like, come on.
So, already, right? Here's the thing. Already, so this is potentially one outcome. If I go onto my homepage, okay, there is a news section 3 lines down already. Breaking news. And they are all big media. Sky News, ABC, I guess ABC government.
ABC is okay.
9 News, 10 News. On my homepage. I don't watch YouTube for news.
So the issue is that they aren't being appropriately compensated for that being there. Is that the fight that they're fighting? I don't know. I mean,
well, it's classic, like, back, it's like academia. It's like, no, because normally, like, everyone else, you got to pay to be on the front page, and then big fucking corporation comes along. No, you pay us to be on the page.
Yeah, but
motherfucker, like, you got the front page. It goes the other way.
Yeah, but it does until it doesn't. That's the thing, and like, I can see why they're fighting it here, because if this comes in everywhere, it's gonna fucking change everything. Because then it's like, okay, well, the shoe's on the other foot all of a sudden. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so put it this way, without offending Americans, I think, whatever.
You go, without offending Americans.
Do you think Australian? I don't know. Do you think Australian news is less biased than American news outlets? It's definitely less political. Oh, I don't know.
You know what? You know why? And I'm going to say this, and then we're going to finish the podcast, because it'll fucking piss people off.
Okay.
The reason that our news is less political is because our news outlets are almost solely owned by one side of the political spectrum. They are so heavily aligned with the liberal politics, the conservative politics in Australia, that there's no reason. Like, you don't see them talking about Dan Andrews down in Victoria and all the good shit he's doing. It's just about how he's fucked up because he's a Labor politician, you know. But then Scott Morrison, you rarely see him put the slipper into him. He's a fucking PM, man. And he's fucking cooked it like 5 times yet this year, right? Like, he was in fucking Hawaii when we had a national fucking crisis with bushfires. Cunt wasn't even here. And it's
That's what I'm
like
saying.
for 2 days. It's what
Why
you know.
should
So
they get paid to take space on my YouTube homepage? See you next week, cunts.
Ah! Oh man, the law will find you. The Liberal government.
The Liberal government.
Oh fuck! Well, that's an incredibly
Wait,
shit note to end the podcast on. But
People need to know our Liberal government's different from US Liberal government, isn't it? Backwards,
it's kind of the
backwards
opposite.
tendency. It's opposite, yeah.
It's opposite day down here.
Our
It's
Liberal
the great down under.
Is there?
Yeah,
What's Trump?
your Liberals are our Labor. That's
And our Liberals,
and your Republicans
fucking,
are Republicans are Liberals
Republican?
down here. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. So liberal is right here. No. Yes. I don't know.
Yes.
Ah!
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
DDU politics down under. We'll get friendly Geordies on next week to explain us all everything to us, and that'll be it. Holy shit! I didn't want to get into all that crap, but honestly, can we just say that giant corporations fighting each other, if they're gonna do this and they're gonna fucking do this sort of shit, and they're gonna make average citizens fucking, you know, like they're gonna drag us through the mud and use us as pawns in it, can they at least duke it out in the streets with giant mechanized robots and decide once and for all who is the victor, right? Like, because at least make a fucking spectator sport out of it. Because I'm sick of this shit. I feel emotionally manipulated. And that's the thing. That's what it's all about these days. It's just trying to catch fucking outrage and trying to harness outrage and trying to scare people.
Oh. Yeah.
Look, if
And you know
come
what?
here...
This is what's going to happen. Us little dudes, us little independents fucking doing gaming completely non-related to fucking news. It will creep into gaming news, and then it'll creep into fucking gaming news outlets. All of a sudden, we'll have an ability to get paid for content. We'll see a big fucking rise in the IGNs again, and the little dudes will get kicked the fuck out, and then gaming reviews will come back. Cut the podcast. I'm fucking pissed. Cut the podcast. I'm out.
The law that just won't find you this week, kids.
The
Big
law
sad.
will not find you, right? You know why? Because it's not getting paid to be on the front page of fucking YouTube. It's right at the bottom under fucking no one gives a shit. That's what the law is. See ya.